The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
You know what we should be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my questions.
California right now
You
is
are
through
aware
the roof.
What's going on, guys? As you know, the leftists, they are always at work trying to spread the woke virus, trying to spread the woke agenda, the woke ideologies. But it is time for them to go away and go away for good, damn it. They have just a couple more days so they can disappear. Let's take a look to see how President Trump's nominee for Attorney General, Pam Bondi, let's see how she destroyed, let's see how she dismantled, how she shut down, how she demolished Adam Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, as you know, the Supreme Court in Trump versus United States held the president has absolute immunity to commit crimes in certain core areas of the president's responsibility. One of those core areas is the Justice Department. So in a breathtakingly dangerous and irresponsible decision, Justice Roberts and the majority held the president could commit crimes using the Department of Justice and be immune from prosecution. Justice Sotomayor correctly said this new immunity lies about like a loaded weapon. So the fear and the concern we have is that the incoming president will use that loaded weapon, that immunity, to commit crimes through the Department of Justice. And for that reason, it is all the more important that we have an Attorney General who has the independence, the strength, the intestinal fortitude to say no to the president when it is necessary. So my first set of questions has to do whether you have the independence to say no when you must say no. And you can say this is hypothetical, but it is not hypothetical. So let me start with one very specific non-hypothetical. The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
So the question really Adam Schiff is asking is, listen, we know what President Biden has done. We know President Biden has abused the Department of Justice so he could politically target his opponent, so he could punish anyone standing in front of his agenda. He did that to President Trump. He did that to Mayor Eric Adams in New York. So the question is, we feel that President Trump is going to do what President Biden has done. Can you promise us President Trump is not going to abuse the Department of Justice again, just like President Biden has done? That's the question he's really asking.
I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
Not a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by the president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
And that's one thing the liberals are good at. They ask the same question over and over again, hoping you could say something wrong so they could just run with it. She just answered the question. Listen, I'm not going to just listen to what you just said and then just give you a yes or no answer. I don't know. I would need factual evidence to see, okay, did something happen?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case. You know,
and sitting here today,
Senator, 72% of Americans have lost faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that question? You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging law enforcement sensitive information. So just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news is
Are you aware
horrible.
of a...
Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not looked.
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question.
And how can she be aware? You have the leftists just running fake stories, fake news, and then you have some real independent sources that giving a lot of information. So it's like there's a lot of information out there. How are you asking her if she's aware? She doesn't know. The Democrats, they know how to abuse the system. They never speak out in public in terms of what they're going to do, whether to retaliate or to whatever it is. They never expose their intention, their agendas, their dirty laundry. But sometimes the Republicans, especially President Trump, he says too much. He says too much.
Do you have the
If I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good Attorney General, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with it.
Can you tell hard truth to the president? Sir, we have a walking, Sleepy Joe. This man cannot even make 10 steps. You guys were not able to go to the president to say, sir, it is time. It is time for you to pass the torch. You guys did not even have enough balls to say that to President Biden, because it's clearly he is not okay. He was not able to even finish his first term. And now you're asking, is she going to be able to tell the truth to the president? We hope there was somebody that had enough balls to tell President Biden, listen, the border's been open for too long. We need to do something. We hope there was someone that had enough balls to tell President Biden, listen, not only you have to set aside, but VP Kamala Harris is not it, because nobody's gonna go with that fraud. We hope there was somebody that had enough balls to say that to the president.
Easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell us, can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that?
Oh my God. This is the same reason why, well, one of the reasons, there were so many reasons, because the Democrats, they had no chance of winning this election. No chance. Whether it was with Sleepy Joe, whether it was with Michelle Obama, they had no chance winning the 2024 election. And this is one of the reasons. They had nothing to campaign on, because obviously the economy is basura. Everything is basura. People can even take care of their basic needs. Immigration crisis, open border, crime. Everything, you name it, it's there, right? So they had to go back to the same BS. 2020, did you lose the election? It's like, bro, move on. Nonsense.
You have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election. Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it.
I'm just asking you a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any ongoing
to power.
investigation,
So let me ask you another.
like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election? Yes or no?
Like, again, move on. Who cares? Why don't you focus on, is she qualified? Obviously she is. Why don't you focus on the things that the American people care about? Like, ask valid questions. It's like, you ever seen these people when they were in high school or in college, they used to be popping. Now they're like 50 years old. They haven't done nothing in their life in the past 20 years. Every time they talk, they're like, yo, I remember when I was in high school, or when I was in college. It's like, bro, it's been 20 years ago. You have nothing else to talk about? Crazy.
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question. If you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in Pennsylvania.
I know you want to answer a different question, but my question is, can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election? Yes or no? Was there or was there not?
I can tell you what I saw when I went
That's
as an advocate to the campaign.
That's not my question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that even easy truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator,
Were you able to advise President Biden to not pardon criminals like his son? What are we talking about here?
President,
Can I
will
answer
you-
the question?
Well, my question
I would
is-
have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day?
mislead this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask
You were
another question.
censured by
It will
Congress,
also-
Senator, for
it will
comments just
also-
like this that
it
are
will
so reckless.
It will also be important for you to be able to preserve the records, the evidence of the department. Are you ready to commit that none of the evidence in the January 6th investigation will be destroyed under your watch?
Senator, I will follow the law. I will consult with ethical officials in the
Do you
department.
see any ethical basis to destroy evidence in the January 6th?
How about the 33,000 emails Hillary Clinton destroyed? How about that, partner? How about the laptop? Like, you see the double standard here? I'm still waiting for these emails.
Investigation? Then why can't you answer the question? Why can't you say, I commit to this committee, we will never destroy the evidence in the January 6th investigation? Why can't you give this committee and the American people that assurance?
Are you frightened because evidence was destroyed against President Trump that was false? Is that why you're
Why do
frightened
you
now?
have
I can't
difficulty?
believe this is even...
Why do you have difficulty answering that question?
And honestly, I think the American people are more interested in finding out the Epstein list than January 6 evidence. I think the American people are more concerned about the Diddy list than January 6. How about that, partner?
I can't believe
Why do you
you're
have
asking such a
difficulty?
question.
Why do you have difficulty promising to preserve evidence at the Department of Justice? Why is that a difficult question?
I will follow the law.
But anyway, guys, it is insane when you really pay close attention to see the nonsense that's been happening from the left. You're like, how can people still believe in these sick liberals? How can people still buy that? But I think the American people start to really see through the BS. If you guys see what happened in the 2024 election, you know, they came out with every elite celebrities that you could name, whether it's Oprah, whether it's Beyonce, whether it's Megan Thee Stallion shaking the... I think the American people, especially I think black people, start to see how they've been used, they've been abused by the Democrats. I think a lot of black people start to be like, okay, yeah. Now that something is not good. Why every time you have to talk politics with me? Why you have to bring somebody to shake their ass? Why don't you bring intellectual people that could really talk about policies, that could also elaborate on how X and Y and Z policy is going to change people's life? Why every time you're talking, you want our vote, the only thing you bring is food and entertainment? I think black people start to see through the BS, and I'm excited. I believe the future is extremely bright. But of course, as always, if you have not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up as I do my best to continue to bring you guys videos so we can continue together to fight the woke virus, the woke agenda, the woke ideologies. Till next time.